Okay, this video is about how to win the game of health. I'm just going to tell you what I do. And, the goal is to optimize your health and try to avoid, having to need surgery or having to take medications and just, to avoid the healthcare system in general if you can. Most of those centenarians in the blue zones and whatnot, they don't go to doctors for checkups and take all these pills. Now, also, I'm just going to tell you what I do. And most people are not going to be capable of doing this. You have to have a clear mentality of what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, and why you're doing it. And so basically, it's easy for me to follow essentially perfect low fat, low sodium, 100% organic, 100% whole foods, 100% plant foods only, no processed food. It's easy for me to follow it because I know it's the healthiest diet. And I don't deviate from it because I know that it works. In my experience, the typical person, average person, has a real screwed up way of thinking. Just like their physiology matches a herbivore, they think like a herbivore, conformist, hide in the center of the herd. A little bit of meat would be okay, or oil. No, it's never okay. And I just say that, there would be exceptions. I know there's special things. Like, let's say you're a business person, you have to go for a business lunch. Fine, at the business lunch, eat as healthy as you can, but you have to do certain things for your job. You have to do certain things, let's say, for a certain relationship or whatever. Like, for example, when I dated my future wife, I had to drink alcohol the first time I met her family because they would think I was weird if I wouldn't drink alcohol, as stupid as that is. There's things like that that happen. But what I'm saying is, on a daily basis, it should just be automatic that you follow the diet when you're at home. And if a person can do that, then they're capable of doing this. And I know the truth. People after 45 that are continuing to eat processed food and meat and oil and all this, they always end up on a bunch of pills and getting a bunch of surgeries and, and it's like it's easy to avoid almost all of this. Basically, think of the most common causes of death: coronary artery disease, myocardial infarction, heart attack, dementia, chronic kidney disease, COPD, as well as most causes of suffering, most blindness, hearing loss, arthritis, and many emotional problems, hormonal problems are primarily due to diet and toxins. And we've talked about them in all the other lectures, what's optimal diet and how to avoid these toxins, all the estrogenics, for example, all the herbicides and pesticides and non-organic food. Okay, and most cancer is caused by the same things. Yes, there's some weird cancers that come out of nowhere, but the vast majority, you go to a country where they eat a plant-based diet and they don't have all these toxins, they have hardly any cancer. There's stories like Burkitt in Africa, he only had one colon cancer in 17 years. There's stories like Esselstyn told about the prostate cancer in Japan, back in 1957, 18 causes of death in the whole country, versus around here you'll have 30,000 causes of death from prostate cancer in a year. To avoid trauma, acute problems like that, avoid drinking alcohol. Don't be out late at night. When your risk of disease is very low, then you don't want to go for any screening studies. The reason is, if you have a very low risk of disease, then the likelihood of a false positive from any type of screening study is much higher than a true positive. And then the false positives that get you worried, they could be expensive and they're of no value. So trust me, I've been involved in tons of stuff. I've been a doctor for over 30 years. And I can tell you, if you optimize everything in your health, you're set. Because imagine I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. What would I do? I'd go low-fat vegan. Well, I'm already low-fat vegan, so it's a non-issue. I don't even need to check. Okay? What would I do if I had a positive coronary artery CT scan? I'd go low-fat vegan. I'm already low-fat vegan. It's a non-issue. So that's what I like. You avoid those problems. You still got to go get your blood test checked. You got to check your cholesterol. You want to know what your B12 level is. I was curious about my ferritin level. There might come a time, I was curious about my triglyceride level. And, I get curious about checking certain things, my vitamin D level on these other blood tests and stuff. So, yeah, you can do that. The most important one is your total cholesterol, keeping that below 150. I even prefer to keep it below 140. My total cholesterol is 93. Okay, and so the important point here is, if you take good care of yourself, you're unlikely to need anyone else to help take care of you. And you'll just die of old age eventually, which is what you want, like those healthy centenarians do. Okay, so the most important thing for your health is, like I said, take care of yourself. We talked about the diet, get your exercise, at least walk every day. Try to just keep busy, keep moving, get your sunshine. your sleep, get along with people, have some type of purpose in your life, especially something that involves helping other people. That sort of energizes a person, makes them more resilient. You know, if religion is good for you, then that's fine too. It helps a lot of people. They're the healthiest people in the world, the Seventh-day Adventists out of Loma Linda, California. Okay, the only thing I'm not afraid of any of these diseases. The only thing I'm afraid of is Big Pharma if they get pissed off at me for educating, all the pros. But I don't think they will, because McDougall, Esselstyn, and others, they've helped hundreds of millions of people more than me. I'm a low on the totem pole of the teaching people how to eat and have good health habits, so I don't think they'll waste their time with me. And it's just a hobby. Give me a warning first, guys. I got plenty of other things to do. I don't make any money with this. Just a hobby. And it's easy to control the ignorant masses. You just promote the paleo diets. Get some good-looking person about 40 years of age. This is what they typically do. And then the people go, wow, that guy looks good. I want to look like that. Or that lady looks good. I want to look like that. And they'll just believe anything they say. It's incredible. All these people interested in paleo diet, Mediterranean diet, all this nonsense. And that's the thing, too. Like young people, they don't know what they're talking about in nutrition. They don't have the life experience yet when they're less than 40. I would say never trust a nutrition expert less than 40 in my experience. They just don't have it. And also, it's pretty rare. Out of all the doctors I know, percentage-wise, I would say less than, maybe about 1 out of 1,000 is 100% vegan. So anyways, the point of this is how you win the game of health. You avoid needing to get drugged or cut open for surgery. You stay healthy. You can enjoy your life. You don't become impotent. All kinds of good things come from this. But you have to be willing to do it. And the proper attitude, in my opinion, is you say, thank God there's something that works, something that I can do, so I'm just not an inevitable victim. Instead, I'm in control of my health. And this is how you do it. So it's nice to know this exists. I wish I had learned about this many years ago.